There's a group of people in the property market who actually don't want property prices to go up too quickly. And it's not that they don't want to make profits, but they are more concerned about what happens to the next generation. Will my kids even be able to afford a home? Because when prices move too fast, their income can't keep up. And that's why some people genuinely prefer stability rather than seeing prices shoot up too quickly. Hi guys, I'm Gainer and I help you understand why some properties grow while others struggle so that you know what signs to look out for before your next move. So if you look at what happened over the past few years, just back in 2020, a resale 3-bedroom in Punggol was around 1.1 million. Today, that same type of unit is close to 1.8 million. That's about $700,000 more in just 6 years. Now think about what that means. Back then, with a combined income of about 7,500, you could afford that purchase. Today, to take a 75% loan on 1.8 million, your combined income needs to be around $12,000. That's an increase of $4,500 in income just to keep up with the same type of property. And when you see prices move like this, you start to understand why some people resist it. But this is where it becomes a real dilemma. Because on one hand, wanting stability makes complete sense. You don't want prices to move too far ahead of income. You don't want your kids to struggle later on. But on the other hand, the market doesn't move based on what it feels fair. It moves based on who is able to act. But here's what I start to notice. People who think this way usually end up in one of the two positions. They either stay on the sidelines for too long or they eventually buy, but at a price they were never comfortable with. And that's where it gets uncomfortable. Because after a while, it's no longer about whether the price makes sense. It becomes, did I already miss my chance to enter at all? And before you think that this is coming from an agent who just wants prices to go higher, honestly, I don't think it's that simple. Because the market doesn't really slow down just because a group of people feel uncomfortable about prices going up. It moves based on actions. It's like an auction. Even if 10 people think that the price is too high, it only takes one person who is willing to pay more to move the price up. That's why the gap keeps widening. Not because everyone agrees prices should go up, but because the people who can and will pay more are the ones setting the benchmark. At the end of the day, one group influences the market, the other only reacts to it. And to be fair, wanting stability isn't wrong. It's a very real concern, especially when you're thinking about your next generation. But the market doesn't slow down just because we want it to. So the real question becomes this: are you waiting for the market to make sense to you? Or are you trying to understand how it actually moves? Because whether we like it or not, prices are ultimately set by those who are willing to move first. Alright guys, this is what I've got for this video. And if you have benefited from it so far, consider subscribing to this channel. Because my goal is to help you avoid property mistakes before you commit. Gainer here, see you in the next video.